Those of you on the channel know I'm going through One Piece in Enies Lobby. Fabulous arc. Cannot say enough good about it. And I am about to watch Luffy and the Straw Hats versus CP9. I'm expecting a win. At least it better be. Like, obviously. But regardless of that, Luffy is about to go up against Rob Lucci for the first time, obviously. Like, there wasn't a previous fight. And so it got me thinking. Like, Rob Lucci? Pretty strong guy. Great sense of fashion. They don't call him Rob Gucci for nothing. He's earned that title. And I'm rooting for you, Rob Gucci. Not in this fight. At Fashion Week, though. Pulling for you at Fashion Week. So Rob Gucci, very strong guy. Questionable judge of character. But I definitely got off topic. It got me to thinking, though. Who has been Luffy's strongest opponent? And there are definitely a lot of people to consider. He has fought arguably too many people, actually. Too many animals, for sure, and I've talked about that, but regardless. Who is in the running? Well, obviously Rob Gucci doesn't count because he hasn't even fought him yet. We both know that first one didn't even happen. What about Crocodile? Okay, what are some of Crocodile's biggest hits? Well, one, he impaled Luffy with a hook, threw him in a quicksand pit, okay. Sucked him dry. What? Poisoned him. None of it worked. He got the worst beating of his life. So it's not him, obviously. Okay, what about Eneru or Enel, depending on which version you like? Well, he's very strong, but here's the thing about that fight. Most of that fight was him trying to stay away from Luffy. After the fight began, Eneru got what he thought would be the worst beating of his life, tried to stay away from him, couldn't, and then actually got the worst beating of his life. So it's not him. Okay, so what about Aokiji? Okay, I'll be honest, this one was definitely in consideration because that was pretty one-sided, but here's the thing. It wasn't as one-sided as his actual strongest opponent, which I will be talking about in this video, and you might be like, wait. Who the flip is stronger than him? But that's the thing, this fight was so one-sided, it almost wasn't even a fight. And the craziest part is, Luffy never actually even defeated this person, so who am I talking about? This witch. Now her name is Miss Golden Week. He met her in the Little Garden arc, and it did not go his way, so I wanted to talk about it because it is embarrassing. I prefer to forget about it, but I can't. It really let me down. But long story short, leading up into this fight, they arrive in Little Garden, Luffy goes a little crazy, assaults a few animals, meets up with a giant, beats up that giant, gets stuck under a mountain, gets jumped when he's under the mountain by some shifty individuals working for Baroque Works. Okay, not going so well. But the thing is, Luffy is fine, because he's Luffy. I'm alive! His friends, not so much. Most of them actually get stuck. They're about to be turned into candles by Mr. 3. So, eventually Luffy shows up, thanks to this duck, Karoo. Anyway, so the duck gets him out, Luffy runs to the fight. He doesn't even need directions. Like, he's not great with directions. But here's the thing, like, if violence is about to go down, he knows where to go. He shows up just in time. Zoro was about to cut off both of his legs. He did partially cut off one, so thankfully it worked out, because that would have been unfortunate. We would have needed a new swordsman. But Luffy shows up and he's like, who do I have to murder first? Gets distracted by Mr. 3's burning hair and he's like, what the flip is wrong with this dude? But here's the thing about Luffy is that it would seem obvious that his friends are in trouble. Never assume Luffy knows what the flip is going on in any situation. Like, he probably knows a little of what's going on, but even the little he knows, we don't know how much of that little is even correct. Because Nami's like, hey Luffy, kill these people and then break this wax thing. And Luffy looks at her like, I'm sorry, what? Are you guys in trouble or something? Anyway, they're like, Luffy, please break this pillar. So he's like, okay, say no more. So he breaks the pillar. He makes it worse though. It's actually spinning closer to them, turning them into wax even faster. And he's a little confused, like, why didn't you guys move? They're like, is this dude serious? Like, we're obviously stuck. And then he explains his reasoning like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. You guys just said break the pillar, so. Okay. But regardless, they're like, okay, Luffy, kill these people, then you can save us. So he starts to fight them. He takes on Mr. 3, who should be the strongest person here, at least that's what you would think. He handles him extremely easily. So at this point, he's going to get his friends out, and this is when his strongest opponent comes out. And he did not even see her attacks coming. This girl here has hypnosis powers. And you know what the worst part is? The part that really drives me crazy. Apparently this is not even a devil fruit power that ensnares Luffy because he gets stuck in it and he is powerless against her. Like, this is easily the most one-sided fight right from the start. But it's not even a devil fruit. I thought it was. Then people told me, no, it's not. Okay, so I thought, they're lying to me. I looked it up. The internet also lied to me. And then I asked a friend and I was like, hey, that's a devil fruit, right? And he was like, no, I thought we were friends. Why would you lie to me as well? Anyway, everyone is lying about the fact that she has a devil fruit or doesn't have a devil fruit. It doesn't even matter. This is still a bad situation for Luffy because he stepped into her hypnosis, so he's powerless. Again, that's the thing about hypnosis that works shockingly well against this dude, is that apparently the weaker the mind, the better it works. Like this dude. Yeah, I definitely knew from the start he was screwed against this. Now thankfully his friends are able to help him out temporarily, convincing his weak mind to step out of the circle so he's no longer hypnotized. Problem is, he lets this girl sneak attack him. Like, she clearly has some sort of super speed or something like that. You would think so, right? I don't know. Doesn't even matter. Because she got another attack off on him, and this time his shirt is painted, so he's kind of screwed. So he starts laughing uncontrollably, but he is crying inside. The fight goes on more and more, and the thing is, she starts taunting him by getting him to drink tea with her. Like, she sets up a whole picnic thing, or maybe he set it up, I don't know. It would actually be rubbing it in if he set it up for her to then drink the tea in their fight, and she's like, I got this, dude. I took down the great Monkey D. Luffy. And so basically, Luffy lost to her. But thankfully, this is where Usopp and Karoo the Duck come in. Because in a Hail Mary attack that will either save everyone or everyone is dead, Usopp fires off his strongest fireball attack right at Luffy. Yes, he hits Luffy. And the fact that he hit Luffy saved all their lives. Because again, Luffy didn't stand a chance. This has been the most one-sided battle I've ever seen from Luffy. It's actually kind of embarrassing. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, he had one chance to hit this witch, this Miss Golden Week, and he missed. He hit his friend, and then his friend stands up and you're like, oh, he doesn't have a shirt. This dude incinerated his shirt. Okay, Usopp is a legend. And Luffy is looking even more disheveled than usual. He stands up and he's like, okay, I'm about to brutally murder some people. So you might be like, well, she never technically won. Well, she kind of did, though. And Luffy never even beat her in the end because she saw this shirtless dude stand up and she's like, no, I don't get paid enough for that. She left to the forest. Thankfully, this duck here, this Karoo, he saw her, and I can only assume he killed her. Okay, I know she didn't actually die, but, like, I don't know what this bird did to her. Like, who the flip even knows? Anyway, Luffy handled everyone very easily, and I'm not rooting against Luffy, but if you are a villain in the One Piece world, or anyone, the Marines, anyone, call up this girl. She is your best chance at defeating this dude. I don't know what the duck did to her, to be honest, but regardless, what do you think of this? Thought I would try out this video. If you like it, please like and follow for more.